so much for vacation time. Guys, like, hey, you have some time off. And you're just going to be traumatized for all of it. Oh my gosh.
Damn, what a session.
Nice.
There's just like too much to unpack.
I had to dump a lot on you there at the end. Hello, fellow geeks. Welcome to the next episode of Stolen Fate, our playthrough of the Pathfinder 2e adventure path from Paizo. For this series, we have Chase, that's me, as our intrepid game master. M is the enthusiastic Krunk. Katie is the mysterious Gingham, and Tori is the quick-witted Jack. This session will bring Season 1 to a close, as Jack, Krunk, and Gingham get a glimpse of their destinies, for better or worse. We hope you've enjoyed our first season. We'll be doing a live stream next Monday, May 13th, at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, to hang out with all of you and talk about the season. We hope to see you there. Now let's roll! Good evening, fellow geeks. Welcome to the finale of our first season of Stolen Fate as we approach the end of the book. When we last left off, you guys had just finished fighting your Harrow cart-wielding foe in the Hell Knight Citadel, which you approached him at. Portals have opened up. You guys have gotten your loot, including the Fiend and the Mountain Man.
Yeah, we grabbed everything and ran.
Yeah, we did. We had a major loot sesh right at the end.
Excellent. Now, Willem teleported himself away, and you guys see the warm, inviting hearth of Harrow Court through your portals, as you always do. You guys step through the portals, but something is different this time. As you guys step through the portals, it is not just a quick little blink of the eye, suddenly you're back in the Harrow Court. This feels awful. You guys feel like you are getting tossed around in a washing machine, tumbled around. It's extremely disorienting, and I need all of you to make me fortitude saves.
Fortitude saves?
Yep.
Going home?
Going home.
Goodness.
I don't love that.
Yeah, that's a little disconcerting. All right, Jack coming in with a 36.
Is a 32 high enough?
32 is not, 36 is.
Also 32.
As
right.
a reaction, Chase, I am going to re-roll that using one of my tarot cards. Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure. Also,
but should you use the Harrow card instead?
I do. I should use the Harrow card instead. Thanks, Tori.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Tori. All right, let's see this. All right, that's much better. What about a 40, Chase?
all right, a 40 is good. So Jack and Krunk, you guys keep it together. Gingham, you feel just very ill. Like Gingham's probably never been known to be motion sick, but this is jumbling your fluff around a little bit too rough.
Too much fluff in the tum.
You guys feel like you are tumbling for like a number of minutes. Like it maybe gets a little bit concerning at some point because it just doesn't feel like it's going to stop. It's just swirling lights and nothingness. And that lasts for a few minutes. The only thing that starts to change is all of you smell a very strong scent of blood all of a sudden.
Oh, no.
And then with a rough crash, all of you land prone on the floor. I have a map for this.
Oh, this is not Harrow Court.
This is not Harrow Court.
We are not in Harrow Court. This is a problem.
There's sound effects on this one.
Uh-huh.
It's like a whooshing.
Gotta love that, right?
Is there a grandma and a man with a spear and also an angry dog?
And also a dead guy?
And
And
then
also
a really
bug?
big dead bug creature?
What is happening?
Yeah, there are some of those things here.
Is there a glowing journal on the table?
All right, let me tell you guys what you see as you come tumbling through the portal. All of you hit the ground. Gingham, you immediately throw up whatever Gingham throws up.
It's fluff
It's a
and
pitiful
straw.
fluff and straw. And in this room, it is a T-shaped room lined with bookshelves. Rather than books, the shelves are instead filled with rows upon rows of narrow plates of stone or steel, stacked atop each other in messy piles. A table in the middle of the room holds stacks of these tablets, along with several notebooks and writing implements. That's what the layout of the room looks like, but most notably to all of you, you see that there is an elderly human woman in front of you. I'll go ahead and show what she actually looks like, and you can describe her. But it's important for this description. Everything in this room is covered in a mixture of orange and purple and red blood, including her. Who wants to describe her?
We're all like, don't all volunteer at once.
It's like if Professor McGonagall, is that her name? I don't really.
Yeah.
It's like if she was there, but she didn't have her hat and she was really mad and she had purple lightning coming out of her book that gave her face a scary purple underglow.
Yeah, she's definitely a mage of some kind. She's also got a big, long staff. She is scowling. Is she scowling at us?
Yeah, she kind of looks surprised as all of you drop on the floor. She's giving you a bit of an angry inquisitive.
An angry inquisitive look.
Indeed.
Not a fun combo. Jack pulls out his weapons.
You draw your weapons, okay. Now, standing next to her is this woman right here.
Okay.
Who wants to describe her?
I can, because I want Katie to describe the bug or something. This woman has some kind of magical, oh gosh, what is that called? That's not a pike.
It's halberd.
A halberd, that's right. So the halberd is glowing with this like red magical energy. She herself is in some chain mail or scale mail, something like that. She looks ready to fight. She's also got a purple tome at her waist that like hanging off her belt. Does she look ready to fight?
So as you reach for your weapon, she kind of waringly points her halberd in your direction, and this creature next to her kind of lowers down to a crouch as if getting ready to pounce when you reach for your weapons, Jack. And Katie, why don't you describe this?
Kitty! It looks like a mountain lion who grew up too close to a nuclear power plant because it has 4 extra legs just in the middle of its very floofy body.
Yeah, it does look like an 8-legged mountain lion. That's pretty good. Oh, it has a big fluffy tail, though. Mountain lions don't have fluffy tails.
If it grew up next to a nuclear power plant, it might.
That's true. That's true.
Now, next to this cat, there is the very bloodied corpse of this gentleman, who looks as he does here, but with one change, which is his jaw looks like it's been ripped off, and it looks like there is like the bottom jaw of a monster protruding from where his bearded chin should be. And Em, why don't you give us a description of him?
This man has kind of a darker complexion with a very pink nose, pretty green eyes, close cropped hair, a very, very pointy beard that just comes off of his chin. He's wearing fine clothes of royal colors with padded shoulders, and he looks like he could have been friendly at one point if he wasn't missing his jaw.
What kind of monster jaw is attached to his face now?
It's like a grayed flesh with very sharp teeth on the bottom row.
Sharp teeth on the bottom.
And then to the south, it's hard to not notice the gigantic, enormous corpse of some sort of 3-headed bug. It looks like this. And Tori looks like the... Katie. All right, Katie, it's been passed to you.
Oh, wow. This is another product of a nuclear power plant. It's a centipede body that splays off into 3 different heads. One looks like it's glowing with acid. and then one is glowing with fire, and then the other is glowing with electricity. So,
Well,
and
less
it's dead.
because they're dead.
Yeah.
They are dead. It looks like clearly a battle has just taken place here. And as all of you land and Jack, you reach for your weapons, this lady points her halberd in your direction. And the older woman here snaps her book shut and waves a hand. Raflin, stand down. Everybody stand down. Let's be calm.
I stand down. I'm calm. Oh, looks like we missed all the fun.
You all look familiar to me. Have we met?
Can I
You guys
roll
don't recall
society?
meeting
I
her.
think I would have remembered you and that. He points to the 8-legged cat thing.
Raflin, take your pet and leave us. I wish to discuss with these three. She gives her a concerned look. Do you three mean me harm, or can we talk civilly?
We can talk civilly at first. I think what happens after that will depend on what you have to say.
Jack, I've never harmed an elderly before.
She nods.
An elderly?
This one steps up and gets in front of all of you. Step aside.
Wow.
Aggressive.
Sassy.
Little aggressive.
Gingham is the first to move. Okay.
She goes through a door that's right behind
She
you.
could probably step over Gingham.
true.
All of you can make perceptions as she opens.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes, I do.
We would love to do that.
Does the
also,
cat
just
follow her?
That's what I was gonna ask.
The cat does follow her out.
That's what.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to get more than that, but I'll roll.
Oh, 2 nat 20s.
Wait, do I roll and
Whoa.
ruin it, or do I just leave the 2
No,
nat
gotta
20s?
see. We have to see now.
Okay.
A lot of
See how
pressure, Tori.
strong
It
it
is.
is.
I'm a little nervous. Okay, here we go.
Aw.
Much less
32.
spectacular.
Aw.
32. I rolled a 6, so have fun
right.
with your nat 20s.
Well, all of you notice that outside the room, you see that there is a handful of women in armor like this with checkered black and yellow shields, pretty mundane gear. But you count maybe about 6 of them out in a room. And it looks like a battle has ensued out there as well. There's blood and corpses. With your nat 20s, Gingham and Krunk, you hear some sort of battle raging off in the distance to the east. You're a little disoriented. There's no windows that you can see out of from here or anything. You're just in a stone room. But you hear some sort of screeching noise, like a bird being angry, and battle cries and clanking.
Well, maybe we didn't miss the party.
May I ask your names?
Of course you may. Go ahead.
What are your names?
Ah, I'm Krunk. This is my best friend in the universe, Jack, and his friend Gingham.
I thought so. Looks like she thinks for a moment, and then she's going to step up to this chair here at the table. She's going to take the side of her robe and wipe some of the blood off of the chair, and then take a seat. And she'll gesture to... there's only like 1 or 2 more chairs here. She'll gesture to them for all of you to sit down.
What's your name?
My name is Aradeth. We have not met,
Aradeth.
not in a literal sense. Were you attacked a few weeks ago in Absalom?
Yeah, that was us. But we get attacked a lot, to be fair. Sometimes we attack too.
Would you mind explaining exactly by whom and what you were attacked? The nature of the encounter?
Aradeth, well, you know, my little acquaintance, Gingham, is actually quite skilled in storytelling. Perhaps you could tell the story, Gingham.
Well, which time when we were attacked? The time in the theater or at the time outside of that?
Sorry,
Absalom
sorry,
Theatre?
Aradeth, sorry.
There was also the first time we got attacked by the 2 devils in the store.
That
And then
Which store?
also the
Oh.
She asked about the
one-
time in Absalom, guys.
yeah,
Come on.
3 moves ahead. Well, there were a couple times in Absalom, because then later we got attacked by the dude with the axe and
Was
the
he
assassin.
tiefling adjacent?
Darno. No, that was the person
No.
we were protecting.
Va-
Sure. We didn't
And there were-
exactly ask his name and get acquainted.
There were devils, you said.
Yeah.
Actual devils? What are you mistaking for tieflings?
Oh, no. No, there's no mistaking. These were devils. We almost got tetanus. Remember that, Krunk?
I think that we did catch it. Remember,
That's
we had to go
true.
to
yes,
the.
then we got healed.
Oh.
It was quite a time.
It was
Seems so far away now.
What
She
was it
looks
called?
thoughtfully away. She's going to gesture her hand, and some purple mist is going to form, and some goblets of wine are going to appear. She'll gesture them to all of you. Well, I must offer my utmost apologies. That is my crew that attacked you, though I would like to ensure you that it was not authorized by me. I did hear about it, but I believe if Varnev attacked you and some devils, it could have only been one of my lieutenants that issued those orders, and I apologize.
Okay, thanks, I guess.
Krunk
She
is
nods.
immediately suspicious of this, and so he's gonna reach for the wine and accidentally on purpose knock all of them over.
Aw.
Clumsy.
She just kind of lets them spill, given the fact that she's already covered in blood. And she's going to cast a prestidigitation, and her clothes will clean off, along with the blood.
Does she
My
strike
apologies.
me as a wizard? Could I try and figure out the type of magic she's doing based on like my experience with Willem and Krunk?
You could do an arcana.
Okay.
Can I do an arcana?
For sure. Krunk and Jack, you guys recognize enough, and probably Gingham, since you're pretty knowledgeable in like magical items. She's an arcane caster of sorts.
I got a 30, Krunk got a big ol' 40.
Nice.
His rolls are on fire.
Jack, you can't specify a class other than arcane, and Krunk, you can tell she is definitely a wizard.
I'm somewhat of a wizard myself.
Interesting. I imagine that's your spell book. Well, this is a bit awkward. I am sorry for this strange encounter. Why are you here exactly?
Oh, I was kind of hoping you could answer that question. This is not where we meant to come.
Teleportation ritual?
No.
Of sorts.
Yes.
Those can go wrong. Listen, if you will be upfront with me, I will be upfront with you. Because I'm starting to get the feeling that our fates are somehow intertwined. There's a reason you're here. There's a reason everything's been happening the way that it happened. Now, my name is Ardeth, as I already told you, and I am the leader of a mercenary group called the Band of Blades. I don't suppose you've heard of us?
Have I? Is there a check?
Yeah, there is a check. That would be a society.
I'll give it a go. My gosh, Krunk.
30?
Can't miss. 27.
520. Zach, you've never heard of them. Krunk, you've heard of the Band of Blades? You haven't heard a ton about them. They're not like super widespread notorious, though they are a pretty well-rated mercenary group for people who want things done. They kind of live in the gray area of mercenaries. They've been known to get some shady things done. They've been known to get some noble things done. But
Yes.
You haven't heard about them recently. It seems like they've kind of been falling.
Yes, mercenaries, willing to do what it takes to get a job done, though I thought you had disbanded. You haven't been active in some time.
Who studied in Cheliax on Drustin?
That was Krunk.
All right, Krunk, with your knowledge as well, you would also recall that you're studying Drustin was also part of the Band of Blades.
Okay.
We have not disbanded, though. Business has been rough. Do you know where you are?
I was gonna ask that. That was on my list.
You're on top of the Storval stairs. Right in the middle of our claimed territory for the time being. Though that may be shifting soon. Are you friends of the show, Auntie?
I have friends in a lot of places, but I'm not friends with them specifically.
That's good. Do-gooders, ne'er-do-wells.
What are you working on these days? What is your business, would you say?
My business is trying to drum up more business, and we have been trying to continue funding our expedition, and so we have claimed the Storval Stairs. We've been charging fees for it, but we seem to have upset the locals. And we also just found that we had a traitor in our midst, and she gestures down at this bloodied man with the monster jaw. You actually just arrived shortly after a quite vicious battle.
So, why exactly did you accidentally try to kill us with your lieutenant?
I didn't try to accidentally kill you. I believe he intentionally tried to kill you. So let's continue with the upfrontness. Do you all possess strange cards from a specific horror deck?
Chase, it has been too long since I have rolled a sense motive, and I think that this woman deserves one.
Go ahead and roll me a blind one.
Can I do one too? I was kind of just waiting for the
As long as it's blind, go for it.
Blind GM rule.
I'm not gonna roll one and use, for once, my super taster feat and taste the wine on the ground instead.
Gingham,
You're gonna lick it?
What does that do?
I have a feat.
And what does said feat do?
Said feat says you have refined your palate and have a discerning sense of taste that can detect abnormalities in the flavor and texture of foods. When eating food or drinking a beverage, you automatically attempt to identify the ingredients, which might alert you to the presence of alterations or additives such as poisons.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do me a secret perception check for that.
It's even better that this is wine that's spilled on the ground. I can't think of anything more gingham than to just randomly walk over to a wine puddle and start licking it.
Aggressively so.
Right? Okay. I think I rolled that right.
Yeah, it tastes delicious, and you don't detect any poison. Krunk, you feel like she has some kind of personal agenda. She's seeming a little bit suspicious to you. Jack, she seems like she's being completely upfront to you and genuine.
Well, Jack does not really assume that about anyone, but he doesn't really know what this woman's getting at.
Krunk's eyes are narrowed at this woman, and he seems to be a little bit withdrawn. He is not sure if we should answer that, so he's not going to volunteer information.
You know, most people who ask us that question do so with a specific reason. And, you know, frequently with violent intent. I'm going to need some reassurance that this conversation isn't going to go that direction.
I have no interest in your cards if you have them, though I am interested if you actually have them or if this is false information. My lieutenant, Drewston, he does wish to take those cards from you with violent intent. And in fact, he has to be the one that ordered the attack on all of you. I told him to leave it be. Now, he obtained some as well as myself and some of my other captains, but I don't think that these are worth pursuing. I understand they are some sort of powerful artifact, though they seem dangerous, and I want nothing to do with them. It's not what our business needs at the moment.
Well, then.
So I'm just curious if the attack on you was false, or if I could perhaps be of some assistance and be rid of them.
We do have some.
Ah, very good. May I see one? I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Ooh. Sorry. Here's one that I have. I'm going to pull one out.
Which one are you showing her?
Let me pick one. I just don't want to have the opportunity for Jack's or Gingham's to get stolen. I think that I'm going to show her the trumpet.
The trumpet, okay. She looks at it. She's going to cast a spell. You guys feel kind of just a sensation of magic wash over you. Her eyes glow briefly. Powerful. Now, as a symbol of good faith, I will give you the one card that came into my possession. And if this conversation can stay civil, then perhaps we can discuss two more that I know of. And she's going to, just out of her sleeve, it's going to like float out and she'll catch it in her fingers. She pulls out Rakshasa. Let's go ahead and show you guys what that looks like.
Speaking of cards, really quick, we did not divvy up the Fiend and the Mountain Man.
Oh yeah, who has it?
And having looked at them, you guys can correct me if you think differently, but I think the Mountain Man feels good for Krunk and the Fiend feels good for Gingham. But you guys can discuss that. Also, this Rakshasa card is wild.
I love it so much.
Why don't you describe it then, Katie?
It's so, they're backwards. Okay, so picture, if you will, a painting of a US president in the olden days. It looks like that, except the US president's head has been replaced with a anglerfish with the sharpest teeth I have ever seen. It's holding a teacup that has a nasty crack in it, in hands that have been switched. The left is on the right and the right is on the left.
It's very upsetting.
And I think it's great. There's nothing wrong here. And it is leaning up against a statue of a woman pouring out a vase.
Yeah, I have no idea what to make of this. I was imagining something completely different for the Rakshasa.
Regal, if you will.
So she is going to put that on the table and slide it over to you, Krunk.
She's just giving this to us?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you want to be rid of them so bad? Most people want to hold on to them. At least that's what I've found in my experience.
All of you have made quite a stir. These cards have made quite a stir. And as I told you, I'm the leader of a mercenary group and we are struggling. And although that these cards could probably fetch a price, it seems that danger and disaster follows them. And it seems like the cards tend to be following you if my reports hold true. If you are to be the source of as many bits of chaos as my spies have told me. You mentioned something of a theater, so I'm guessing that Shalaxian theater that nearly burned to the ground was involving you?
Yeah, we saved it.
Good work. Did you get paid for it?
I didn't.
Indirectly.
I know
We
you
got
didn't.
paid for it?
And came in and claimed credit for it, and he received a hefty payment.
So that's why Jack is like, phew, that's why she only gave me that 50 gold. Well, we did get paid from the firebrands, but
Krunk is so nervously looking over at Jack. Like, anybody stealing Jack's pay, that seems like instant death for somebody.
well, let's just say Drewston got what was coming and we took our price back in blood.
Well, he hasn't yet. He's currently residing at a Hell Knight citadel, reaping all of your riches and rewards.
Was.
She raises an eyebrow. Are you to tell me that you killed my...
He was threatening us first. I don't take kindly to people trying to kill me. I don't see that that's very unreasonable of us.
Is that going to be a problem?
She
Krunk's
narrows her
voice
eyes
lowers.
at you for a moment, Krunk. No, it actually just takes a step out of this negotiation. You all seem like powerful allies to have, and although I want nothing to do with these cards, I find it to be a good tactic to keep allies in strong places. And gods know I need strong allies at the moment to back my group. So the only problem that there was going to be with me working with you, if you're interested in it, is that I was to doubt that I could trust that Drewston wouldn't continue to try killing you. So that was probably a smart move on your part. In fact, if my informants are correct, he was actually marching a small army on this citadel to try to overthrow me.
Sounds like we did you a favor then.
It sounds like you did. And I'm guessing that whatever you were doing at that Hell Knight citadel is what put this hectic attack in motion here, and she gestures to the giant dead bug and the dead man on the ground. It came out of nowhere. That was one of my trusted advisors, Nadidi, though he was a more trusted advisor of Drewston.
I see.
And it turns out he was a horrible creature, and not in fact a human.
That must have been very shocking.
Indeed. Well, I feel like I've been very upfront.
Well, what do you want from us? I mean, sure, I understand the idea you want to have powerful friends and all that, but let's talk terms. I don't know what that means. I don't just promise blind favors as a habit.
I wouldn't expect it. In fact, I feel that I am probably likely in very grave danger right now if you all decided you wanted to attack me. I'm a wise woman. I have no interest in fighting a battle that I know I would lose. In fact, we're currently being attacked on 2 fronts outside. There's a group of harpies that I think are also trying to take the cards, and the Shoanti are sick of us staying here on the stairs. My plan is to pull out of this citadel rather quickly, especially given what has just happened here. So all I will ask of you, if I give you the cards that my group possesses, can we put any bad blood of the attacks that Drewston ordered on you aside, and can we potentially work together in the future? If you need assistance, my mercenaries will help you, and perhaps I can call on you for some favors in the future. This would be out of trust. I feel that I can trust you, strangely so. I think it may have been that card I was possessing. Can I?
Why don't you give us a moment to confer, if you don't mind? All of this is a lot of information, and we weren't even expecting to show up here, so...
She nods. I wouldn't recommend leaving this room, though I will step to the corner here and give you some privacy.
Sure. All right, Jack will huddle up, huddle up, I guess, away from this dead body of the monster man, and come to the far corner away from her, and kind of motion Krunk and Gingham over to put our heads together. So I don't really see a downside. I mean, we can always tell them no in the future, right? But what do you guys think?
It does seem to be a good deal, though I hate having a favor just dangling out there when I don't know what she's going to ask, and honor would compel me assist if it wasn't something that harmed others.
Oh, that's not really ever been an issue for me. I'm fine breaking promises if it's not convenient, but
I envy your whimsy.
Is that what they're calling it? Cool. Okay. Gingham, what do you think?
We could always kill them if we thought that they were going back on their word.
Why is it so much less whimsical when Gingham suggests it?
I mean, I wasn't directly thinking we would just kill them, but that is an option, Gingham, and I'm with you that could be something we have to do. I'm not inclined to do it right now, but yeah, I think this sounds okay for the moment. 3 cards, and maybe these cards will actually send us back to Harrowcourt this time.
Maybe we could ask why we ended up here instead of back at Harrowcourt.
But
I don't know if she'll
want to
know.
tell her about Harrowcourt? She's obviously going to be looking for a new home soon. We don't want her coming to ours.
Yeah, and did you notice that the card just came to Krunk? It didn't stick to her, so I think that she maybe doesn't know about what this deck is really.
True. Why didn't another portal open up as soon as that came into possession of?
Well, sounds like there are other cards here, like she mentioned, and usually the portals open up, as far as I understand it, when we've gotten all the cards. Just like last time, we got 2.
That makes sense.
All right.
Anyway, I don't have a problem allying with this band of blades or whatever, at least temporarily. And we can always figure it out later if they come knocking for a favor we don't want to deliver on. That can be a future us problem.
There's a slam and a bang from the door, and you guys see this very large dwarf come walking in.
Oh my gosh. Can I describe him?
Yep.
He has just disturbingly manic smile. My gosh. He looks like he has just murdered an entire army and is thrilled about it. He has a giant sword and he's all armored up. He's got long white hair and a beard, but it's like he has no mustache with the beard, which makes him look even crazier, I think. But anyway, yeah. Is he looking all stoked and happy like he is in this picture as he comes through the door?
It looks like he kicked the door open and then he just slams it loudly behind him. He's covered in blood, as is his sword. Aradeth! I sent those shite birds back to the 7 layers of hell, just like you asked. Aradeth looks over and gives an approving nod. Thank you, Endlo, but I am currently in the middle of a discussion. Who the hell are they? Do I need to kill him? He puts both hands on his sword and gestures towards both of you. She waves her
step
hand.
in front of Gingham.
Stand down, Endlo. They are friendly for now. What does for now mean? Who are you? You're a big ugly bastard. He points at you, Krunk.
Calm down.
Why don't you calm yourself?
I would
Endlo,
love
that
to.
will be enough. Leave us. Stay by the door. I may summon you in a moment, but likely not for violence, understood? Sorry, Ardeth. Got a little bit high sprung on those damn birds. Of slaughtering me some prey in the morning. He gives a smirk at Krunk, and he does like a very nasally inhale and cough in his throat and spits it on the ground. And then he turns towards Ardeth. I'll leave you to it then. Just outside, you beckon if you need me. I'm very fast. And he points at you, Krunk. And he's going to go slamming his way out the door again.
Well, wasn't he
Apologies
just a
for
breath
him.
of fresh air?
Yes, I apologize. Continue discussion if you need it.
I think we're about done. Krunk, Gingham, you good?
Krunk's a little fixated on the door that guy just walked out of, but he nods.
Yeah, I think we're in. Give us the cards. We'll try and help you in the future. Seems simple enough.
She comes stepping up and she takes another seat. Good. I'm glad that we can reach a civil arrangement. Well then, as another show of good faith, and she'll hold her hand out again and another card will come shooting out of her sleeve. This one, my dead advisor there, Nadidi, possessed. The Liar. And she will give this one to Jack. And here Jack will let
Well,
you
that
describe
just seems a
this
little
one.
bit.
Ooh.
Oh no,
I take
Jack!
personal offense to being handed a card called the Liar. It's very disturbing. Do you want me to describe it?
Yes.
All right. It's a Weasley-looking dude with stringy hair. He's got red eyes and pointy ears and some sharp teeth. He's smiling, a very devious smile. He's in a pretty fancy robe. He's got like gold and silver jewelry and stuff. And then he's holding a bouquet that looks wilty. And then in the background, it seems like his body becomes like a big serpent tail. The impression I'm getting is this is kind of a front, and he's actually this horrible monster, maybe in the background. But yeah, that's the picture.
Fantastic. So she gives that to you, Jack. Very good. Now, the final card is with the gentleman that you just saw so aggressively storm in here, and he may be a little reluctant to part with it. He's been bragging about it with the company for days. So why don't we let his battle lust settle for a moment before I order him to give it to you?
If
In
you're
fact,
sure.
maybe I will go ask him for it and not tell him I'm giving it to you at all. And then I will bring it in and you can try to silently depart.
Handle it how you want, but we don't mind persuading people to give up their cards. Right, Krunk?
In fact, I would take it as an honor.
Either way, let's let him settle for a moment. I will discuss my first order of business with you so we can get to know each other just a little bit more. Now, as I said, we're currently holding the Storval Stairs. I know some people disagree with it. What kind of people are you? Will we have troubles if we slaughter some locals and hold these stairs on our own, charge fees for those who pass through? It is quite a lucrative business.
Is that all you're after?
Well, it was, but now as well, I've just learned that the two statues at the bottom of the stairs are actually some kind of very powerful weapon. In fact, I mean to talk to Endlo about it when he comes back in. I told him to activate them against the harpies. They're supposed to fire some kind of powerful magic when activated with some crystals that we found stashed away in this place.
Yeah, I think we can live with that. For what it's worth, Chase, Jack is kind of lying. Mostly because he knows Krunk is probably not cool with that. And Jack isn't, like, totally cool with slaughtering innocents.
Okay,
Yeah,
go on, make deception
but he
then.
doesn't want to make a big fuss about it, right?
Krunk doesn't like this, but he's staring at the doors. This person probably can't see his face very well.
You stand at the door, you can hear that guy shouting on the other side of the door. You should have seen those statues! Roasted them like fried chickens. It was glorious. Not as satisfying as swinging a blade and cutting them in two, but, you know, you can do that after they're cooked, too.
I rolled a 44. I'm sorry, I should have asked if that should have been blind or not.
Yeah, you're good. 44 is good. She nods. And the same goes for all of you?
Yeah,
No bad
I speak
blood
for my
between
team
us.
here. We're all
No.
on the same page.
Good.
Krunk, you could probably tell, you've spent enough time with Jack. I think Krunk at least could pick up that Jack is just trying to... It's over. You know, actually, I don't even have to... I just have a feat for that. I forgot. I have my...
Double speak or whatever it's called.
Yes, my double speak. And you guys have traveled with me for quite some time. So you can understand what I'm saying here.
Very good. She just kind of sits there in awkward silence for a moment after that. Are there any questions you have for me? Anything I can do for my new associates?
I mean, is that all you expect from us? To just not mess with your deal here on the Storval Stairs, and that's all?
I just need powerful allies. I don't know where our steps forward proceed, so I suppose the only hard lines that I require is you leave me alone for these cards, as I will be giving. I will also agree if I stumble across any more, I will try to get them to you. Where can I get them to you if I need to contact you? Is there a way that we can keep in contact somehow?
Is there?
Stirp and
I mean,
Barding. Leave a message for us at Stirp and Barding.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the best. Yeah, there's an abandoned place in Absalom called Stirp and Barding. You can just leave word there.
That's where the attack was ordered.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's because that's where we can be found.
I suppose it makes sense.
How did you stumble on these cards in the first place?
Well, Nadidi held the lyre, and I'm not sure how he came across it as he was busy trying to kill me. As for me...
He really should have figured that out based on the card he was holding. I mean, the lyre? Really? That's just on the nose.
He was upfront with me that he had a card, though he wouldn't tell me which one. As for the Rakshasa, that just showed up in my nightstand one evening. Endlo said he just found his in his pockets.
Huh.
His is the publican, I believe. Did you ever encounter the creature known as the Prince of Wolves? Or was it a ritual? Were you endangered by something called the Prince of Wolves?
Were we?
Well, not by name, but Gingham did see that wolfy face above the Tengu, the crusty Tengus, before they attacked. But only Gingham saw that, I think, right?
Yeah.
So Tori remembers that. Jack is not aware of such a thing.
Well, Drustin was going on about something called the Unmatched, and one of them was the Prince of Wolves, and he said that they would be powerful allies. Seemed like he had allied with them in one way or another, but he wouldn't give me details.
Apparently not powerful enough to protect him.
Nadidi lets out a gagging sound, and a big long tongue unfurls from his dead mouth.
Ugh.
She kind
Jack
of grimaces
stabs
at
his
it.
rapier down through the mouth.
It's unmoving. It still seems dead. All right. Endlo should be calmed down enough to reason with. Would you like to talk with him, or would you like me to go see if he'll give me the card?
Krunk, what do you think?
Killed enough people today.
I think that means you should go talk to him.
Yes, of course. Wait here. I'll be back.
Excellent.
She goes, stepping out the door.
I am
Closes it behind
snooping.
her.
I'm snooping so hard in this room.
Okay. Yeah, through the door, you can still hear like people chattering outside. Arda's voice is so soft that you can't really hear her, but you definitely hear Endlo. What for? It came to me. It's destiny. You can't do it to me. Please, General. It's mine. It's my birthright. As of 10 days ago. Oh, don't say that.
Sorry, does 10 days line up with when we got our cards?
No, it's been
Okay.
a bit more than that.
Okay.
There's a long silence for a while. Fine. But I'm gonna remember this one, General. You're going to owe me after today. I expect a bigger share of the loot. Oh, shut the fuck up, Rafflin. I'm taking all of your loot. He keeps screaming, and you see the door open, and Ardith comes walking back in. She closes it softly behind her. Just as I thought. He was not happy about it, but here. Actually, she'll walk up to Gingham. She'll give this one to you. And this one is indeed the publican. And it looks like this. I think it's your turn, maybe, Em?
The publican looks like the happiest manacled dwarf man who looks like he loves beer very much. He has one arm straight above his head, pouring beer out of one tankard into another one in this graceful golden arch. He's got a red beard with big tassels or clips onto his mustachio. One tooth, two teeth are made of gold, and he's wearing a striped shirt and an apron.
So she hands that over to Gingham, and as soon as she does, the portals open up behind each of you. She jumps. Oh, out in a hurry, I see.
Destiny calls, I guess.
Very well.
Really quick chase. Sorry, backtracking slightly.
Uh-huh.
While she was out of the room, I said I'm snooping because I did want to listen, but I meant actually that I want to look around the room and see if there's any or notes or anything that she had left out.
Oh, yeah, you want to like loot around? Sure thing.
I
Yeah.
want to snoop. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry to sort of retcon.
No, you're good.
All right, I rolled a 12, so that's 38.
All right. Looking around the room, I mean, there's a lot of like these stone and steel plates with different notes on them. They're in a variety of different languages. Like you wouldn't really have time to like get into much detail. They do seem to be talking about how different things operate around the Storval stairs. Aside from that, on the table, there are two that are glowing. And these actually appear to be some sort of like fancy scroll. There is a metal scroll of flesh to stone and a metal scroll of magnificent mansion.
Oh, cool. Oh boy, the temptation is strong.
Nadidi looks like he's already been looted.
Okay. I guess I want to try and slip one into my pocket while she's out of the room.
Yeah, I mean, you can, they're both right there. Do you want to grab both of them? You want to grab one?
How prominently are they placed? I guess I want to gauge how quickly she'll notice if both are gone or just one.
They are radiating the main source of light in this room, so the room would get significantly darker if they were both missing. They're stacked
I'll
on
one
top
then.
of the other. Okay, which one? The magnificent mansion or the flesh to stone?
To be honest, I don't think Jack really knows enough to like make a good judgment call, so I'm just going to roll for it, okay?
Evens is magnificent mansion, odds is the other.
Okay, here we go. 10. So magnificent mansion?
All right, it's in the stash.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, I'm so excited to look at this.
That is the one I was hoping I'd grab because it sounds pretty exciting.
I
Yeah.
like it. She walks back in. She doesn't seem to notice. Everything happens as it did. So
Great.
portal's behind.
Well, you know where to get a hold of us.
Yes, and I believe I will be. We'll be here, hopefully, as long as things go well with the Shoanti. I imagine with Drewston's army now crippled, and with you not trying to kill us, I feel confident about our success. You, of course, will get free passage through the stairs if need be.
If we need to get a hold of you, do it.
I'll be here.
And we could just approach without you turning your statues on us.
Yes. Yes, I will make sure that all of you are welcome. We're not aggressive people. We only attack if provoked.
Understood. I think our business is pretty well concluded in that case.
Safe journeys then, and may they be bountiful and full.
All that. Oh, really quick, one sec. Gingham, can I just borrow that for a second? Jack points to the publican card.
Oh, here.
Jack just takes a half step out the door I want to see if I can see the dwarf dude.
Yeah, he is slumped against the back wall of the room, and he looks like he's just pouting and drinking from a flask.
Okay. Jack takes a half step out the door and shouts over to him, "Hey, Enlo! Thanks for this." And then he steps through the portal.
What the? And then it cuts off as you step through the portal.
There is booming laughter from Krunk before he steps through the portal as well.
Oh, so rude.
That was such a dick move, Tori. That was so funny.
Hey, no one shit talks Krunk in front of Jack and then just gets away with it. And as soon as we're on the other side, Jack hands the card back to Gingham. Thanks. I just, can't resist.
Fantastic. All right, as you guys step through the portals, there is no jumble this time. It's nice and smooth riding, and you guys find yourself back in Harrowcourt, just like you normally do. And in Harrowcourt, you see Aradeth there waiting for you. I was worried about all of you.
So does this mean she's an enemy? This means she's an enemy, right? Guys, are we...
Who's an enemy? I'm not an enemy.
Well, not you, just what you look like.
Why does that make it an enemy? You got a problem with my fashion sense? That's pretty rude, boss.
It doesn't matter. Hey, Guy, what do you know about the Unmatched? You ever heard of that?
Oh, the Unmatched. Yeah, they're no good. Let's talk about you first. You.
Got a whole bunch of cards.
Well, you shifted the order of things. Portal started going crazy. There was earthquakes here. I just barely finished cleaning it up.
Whoops.
Shadow's dead.
What?
I'm just kidding. He's fine.
Not cool. Okay, where is he?
Fucked up.
I don't know. Well, how did you get the cards without the portals?
We
You're supposed to go
went-
through the portals and get the cards.
We accidentally stumbled into our other destiny, and then we found our way back to the original destiny, and it's fine. We've got like 6 cards or something, 5, I don't know. Here, Jack starts pulling out whatever ones I guess the liar and whatever he had. Start ripping
Just
off the
staring at
epitomes. Yeah, he'll actually go
This
around
is
to
just what
the
we do
Krunk
now.
and Gingham and just like, okay, let's just get this all ripped off. There we go.
All right, let's talk about your benefits real quick. Which one are we starting with? Let's do the Fiend. I'm looking at the Fiend. All right, the Fiend Epitome. You see that fly away, and a new door appears across the hallway from the main courtroom of Harrow. And it is a big red double door with like fiendish symbols engraved on the door. And this one adds a conjuration chamber to Harrowcourt. Books and tomes that are stored in this room contain all the information needed to learn rituals for planar ally and planar binding. And also, if you spend 8 hours, so a full work day in the conjuration room, using a summoning spell that summons a minion, you can make that minion's duration last for 24 hours the next day instead of the normal timing.
Wow.
That summoned creature gains the elite template if it is a fiend. Which one's next? Help me remember. Oh, the lyre. Here's the lyre you guys just got. The lyre's little light goes flying over towards the main village outside of Harrowcourt. It adds a new home to the village, and basically anybody who spends a day visiting this home can spend time fine-tuning an expertise tool of some sort. So thieves' tools, some sort of crafting tools, forgeries, anything that can be considered a tool. You can make them a mastercraft version that gives +2 to your checks. And the first time you use them after you fine-tune them in the home, you'll roll with fortune. And you guys can also learn instantly there, if you would like, and add them to your spell list, the uncommon spells Discern Lies, Glibness, and Zone of Truth, as long as you're capable of casting them.
That's so cool.
Krunk just walks in and is like, I know these spells.
And there is a shifty character with a smile that is too big that lives in this home.
Oh, I so want to talk to him. I'm so excited to do that. Okay.
All right, what other ones do we got? We got the mountain man, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
All right, you guys, without any previous information, need to choose where you want it to materialize. In the mountains, in the desert, in the forest.
We have mountains. Oh, I guess we do have mountains.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really been to the mountains
In
yet.
fact, Jack, you have to decide. You peeled the card off, and when you peel it off, it feels like you have it wants you to guide it somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll pick the mountains. It's called the Mountain Man.
Okay.
And we've never been to the mountains. Sorry, that's really far, guys, but that's the first thing Jack thinks of.
All right, let's see. Let me
I'm
check
trying
what
to
happens
gauge
if you
Chase's
put it in the
facial
mountains.
expression. Like, was it too obvious to put the Mountain Man in the mountains?
It might have been, but I feel like he's going to be happiest there.
Oh, that's
Think how miserable a mountain man is going to be in the desert or something.
Big softy. He's
And
softy
then
dum-dum.
everyone is going to be miserable in the swamp because the little snakes are there biting
And
you all the time.
We don't want to go to the swamp, so that
And
is
then the
cool.
rabbit prince already has domain over the forest, so it just felt like there's not really anywhere else to send him.
I like it. So when you rip that epitome off, it goes flying off to the mountains, and you guys see a very large house appear on top of the mountains with a smoking chimney. And there is a very large, red-headed, bearded giant that lives in that house. And if you bring him trophies from things that you have defeated, he will give you rewards for said trophies.
Oh my god, it's all I've ever wanted.
All right. What else do we got? The publican. All right. This adds a lovely, new, fancy, high-class tavern to the village of Harrowcourt. Sorry, Harrowheart. And it's run by a jovial, one-eyed bartender. The tavern's always bustling with a rotating cast of different patrons and performers. And the bartender knows all of you very well. He knows like everything about you. He's great to talk to. Now, he can teach anybody, if you spend a day there, the feast ritual, any skill that you want to try to perform in the tavern. Like, just whenever you visit the tavern, it doesn't have to be 8 hours. You can just go there and try to do a skill to impress the patrons. The next time you attempt that skill elsewhere, it will automatically succeed.
Oh, if you impress them, right?
Wow.
If you impress them.
I have a feeling
If you
Gingham's
don't
going to
impress
go
them,
there.
it will automatically fail.
Oh, wow.
High risk, high reward.
Gingham should go there for bar trivia night and impress them all with your recall knowledge.
He's just like swapping outfits.
Okay, let's see here. The Rakshasa, that adds a new door to the courtyard as well that leads down to a basement. So the basement beneath the courtyard, there's a simulacrum of a tiger-headed Rakshasa that moves into a decadent chamber. While sinister and prone to cruel comments, this Rakshasa does not plot against you, and it's content to always idle there underground in its own chambers. Once per day, you can pose a question to the Rakshasa. You can attempt an occultism check to recall knowledge about the question to see what you know versus the Rakshasa. If you know something better than the Rakshasa, it will give you a reward. If you don't know better than the Rakshasa, there could be consequences.
That's terrifying, honestly.
I'm so pumped for Gingham to go.
I don't think Krunk should ever talk to the Rakshasa
Wow.
because it's prone to rude comments.
And I think that's all of them, right? That's all the new ones that you guys got.
Mountain Man, Liar, Rakshasa, Publican, Fiend.
There we
Any
go.
others? Yeah, I think that's all
That
of
was
them.
5, right?
That's a lot. So many new toys. You're like a kid on Christmas.
Excellent.
Except some of these toys are maybe going to kill us. I don't know.
So
I
you
feel
peel
like
all
a
those off.
parent who has given Christmas to Guy.
He does look very excited as all the lights go whizzing around. Wow, you did good. And as you add those lights, things get fancier and fancier with each one that you peel. And Horror Court is looking pretty nice now, like a pretty high-class noble's castle at this point.
Do
And,
the archways still, are they still foggy and not active?
Yeah, the archways, they are actually all just dead currently, so they're just empty. Guy points that out as you check and looks over at it. Well, looks like you all are on break.
Oh, gods, finally.
Yeah, now when all of the archways are inactive like this, it means that the fate days aren't going to count forward. You know, take some time, a little bit at R&R. Just don't take as big of a break as you did last time. I mean, like, the cards will get harder to get. Or you might get replaced. I mean, I don't want to fire you.
How long were we on break last time, Guy?
I don't know, century?
All right. I don't plan to break for a century.
Well, that's good. Oh, one other order of business that I had. We got contacted by some kind of weird wizard with a snake. He requested entry. He claimed to be part of your crew. I told him that we needed to vet it with you first.
How did he get in touch here?
I don't know. But he's a pretty powerful wizard. Maybe he is.
Well, Krunk, Gingham, you guys want Willem hanging around? I guess he's more helpful than annoying.
I think that it would be wise. As much as he gets under my skin sometimes, I feel as if we may need help in the day.
Gingham?
I agree.
All right. Let him in, I guess. Is he here still?
All right. It's gonna be a lot of paperwork for me, but I guess I'll get to it. At least you got my favorite tavern open again, so I can take care of the paperwork there.
You
Okay.
complain a lot for somebody who cares so much, Guy.
I don't complain. I'm happy all the time. And he gives a big smile and a thumbs up. Hey, speaking of, before you go on your break, one more thing that I would do. You got like a whole cycle of cards, and you did some weird stuff messing with the fates. So I would probably debrief with the fortune teller at the carnival. She can kind of tell you how things are going. Make sure you're fitter.
Has she been there the whole time?
No,
Oh,
didn't need her till now.
okay.
All right, we'll deal with it.
Fortune tellers don't really tell you like your futures. They just tell you how your fortune's aligned. And, you know, it'll be good. It's kind of like a cleanse. You'll feel great after.
Okay. Well, how about we get cleaned up and head to the fortune teller?
A pleasure as always, Guy.
Yeah, you two bosses.
I think to my room.
He summons like a massive pile of papers and goes walking towards the village.
I think that I am going to go and knock on everybody's doors.
Okay,
Can I just talk with the two of you for a minute?
sure. Jack's
Perhaps-
hair is all wet. He's like definitely just finished scrubbing all of the blood and whatever else was on all of us after the fight.
Super fair. Do you mind if we go to Absalom for this talk?
Okay, Gingham, that's your closet, right?
Aye.
To Gingham's room, if we have your closet consent.
Oh, aye.
All right, off we go to the Stirrup and Barding cozy little home.
Do we get there safely, Chase?
You do.
We do have to ask that now.
Yeah,
after
you
last
sure
time.
do. It's
Mhm.
smooth sailing.
All right. Krunk is going to sit down. He just looks tired. Like just really tired. Adventuring with you all has meant a lot to me. And I've had a good time doing it. And I didn't care so much that I didn't quite know what was going on. And just thought Desna was going to show us the way. And all I had to do was follow what was in front of my feet. As we have dove deeper and deeper into this mystery, I have become less content with just standing by. I don't understand what is going on. It's starting to bother me. we're just blindly following Guy's whims, doing what he tells us to do, taking cards, intervening in battles, allowing people to, frankly, take things that perhaps they shouldn't, like how that last conversation went, but because we trusted we needed these cards, I went along with it, and I just don't know. I don't know how long and how far we're willing to go.
Jack looks at Gingham.
Well, we've helped people along the way, haven't we?
Have we?
I'd like to think we have. We stopped quite the war for the Tengu, stopped them from being hurt.
We think. We don't have context on really any of these situations.
But
all
they
I know
sought
is
us
blood
out.
follows these cards.
But would you rather have someone else handle it, or handle it the way that you would like to?
In Stirrup and Barding, with your boarded up windows, there's little rays of sunlight that sneak in between the boards. As you guys are all gathering and talking, you start seeing those rays of sunlight flicker as something keeps passing by the windows, casting a shadow and blocking the rays of light.
Jack will quietly creep over to the window and try and peek outside.
Fantastic. When you look outside, it is a beautiful, color-filled sight of just the biggest swarm of biggest swarm of butterflies that you've ever seen. Just a rainbow of colors, blue butterflies, orange butterflies, yellow butterflies, and they're just fluttering in big flocks outside. You see them all over the sky salon.
Krunk, I think you maybe need to hold that thought and come take a look.
The deep sigh, Krunk stands, his armor kind of grinding against each other at the joints from all the hard work they've put in over these many adventures. He steps window. He's quiet for a second as he looks on at this incredible scene. And you guys hear him swallow hard as if he's trying to suppress some emotion. His shoulders heave and he looks down, then over at Jack, and then back to little Gingham. It seems as if my goddess has spoken. I might not understand this, and I might not feel good about it in the moment, but it seems as if we're on the right path.
The answer you're looking for now is how far you are willing to go for Desna, I guess.
To the end, I suppose. Whatever that may be.
Why do you follow her anyway, Krunk? I mean, cool butterflies. That's nice that you have a sign, I guess. But this is a lot of work, like you said, for someone who occasionally sends you a little fluttering bug to reassure you.
Well, I have been blessed by her. She was kind in a moment when I needed kindness. And I suppose that's all I was really looking for at the time.
Well, I guess as long as you feel good about it, then that's all you ask for. The way I see it, I'm kind of stuck in this whole loop until things resolve themselves or I figure out how to get out of it. Neither of those has happened yet, so until then, here I am. Well, not here in Stirrup and Barding, but you know what I mean. It's not really like I have much else to go back to.
And you, Gingham?
Oh. Well, I don't really remember much before this, so this is what I know.
Guess that settles it then. And hey, maybe Willem will make himself useful and help answer some of these questions, like what is actually going on.
I think
And
that
if he's not useful, then we'll just kick him out.
Or kill him.
Wow.
Maybe not in this situation.
Oh.
Jack, I think you've been a poor influence on Gingham. I must say.
What? Gingham came with a hatchet, okay? I didn't give that to them. That was part of the package.
Shall we go back home?
Sure. Go play with some new toys, I guess.
Hey, I am glad that it is you two that I'm facing this strange challenge from Desna with.
Me too, Krunk. This is a weird situation. It calls for some weird friends. I'll catch up in a second. I'll meet you back there. I just want to check something real quick. And keep Willem out of my room.
Can I use any force necessary?
Yes.
Then with pleasure. And Krunk's gonna half run his portal.
Okay, so Krunk and Gingham, you guys are going through the portal. Jack, you're staying behind?
Yeah, Jack wants to check his mailbox one last time.
Oh.
Okay. You check the mailbox. People at the post probably recognize you by now. And they look sad. And you go in and check, and you just get a shake of the head.
Okay. He'll head back then.
A little delayed by the other two, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, enough time to walk in and out of the post office.
Okay. Krunk, Gingham, you guys step through the portal. You step through, and you're not back in the courtyard of Harrow Court, but you are out in Harrow Heart at the carnival, bustling noises around, with a little tent in front of you that you have not seen before, with a glowing green eye symbol hovering above the tent. And in front of the tent, you see a beautiful, tall, slender elf woman with no hair, pointed ears, and a blindfold over her eye. And she's standing in front of the door and gestures to both of you. Your fates have been awaiting. Which of you is going first?
Damn, Guy really wanted us to do this, didn't he?
It seems to be that way, doesn't it?
Guy has no say in this. You have no say in this.
I like the way you said that.
Your
Gingham, why don't you go
threads
first?
Are tied. And if your threads are not tied, then they are cut. And if your threads are cut, then you are not.
What? Don't do that sound like you know exactly what she said. What? That means nothing to me.
Well, the words were pretty.
I don't know if that even matters. Go ahead, then, if you're so confident, Gingham.
All
Is your
right.
fate ties cut or not?
All right.
The elf woman turns and walks in with you. And when you go in the tent, she gestures her hand, and the cloth doors to the tent close. And it's eerily quiet inside. Like when those curtains close, they shouldn't block sound, but you hear nothing else of the carnival outside once those doors close. And there's just a very simple table with two simple wooden chairs and a little crystal ball on the table. She sits on the furthest side and gestures for you to sit down.
Gingham will go scramble up and sit.
She can't see her eyes, but you can feel her staring at you. Which of the cards do you possess?
Oh. Well, all of these ones. And Gingham will lay out the juggler, the empty throne, the fiend, the carnival, the vision, and the publican.
Excellent. You lay them out. They arrange themselves. They slide across the table in a nice tidy pattern. And the crystal ball starts to glow and smoke swirls in it. She looks down at the cards and starts just making hand gestures over them. And as she does that, the juggler floats up and places itself floating in front of you. She waves her hand over the crystal ball and looks like she's staring into it through her blindfold. Your threads tie strongly to this card. Let your mind wander. And you feel something tugging at your memory. Would you like to save against it, or are you going to let it happen?
Gingham will let it happen. Nothing bad's happened to Gingham and Harrow.
Excellent. So you let this happen, and it starts gentle and gets very mentally jarring. You feel dizzy and sick and confused as your memories just start to rush through your mind at a rapid pace. You see the memories from the last few weeks of all of your adventures just flashing back before your eyes, but it's not just those memories. You're getting the memories of somebody else, somebody that you don't remember, but that feels familiar at the same time. You see human hands in front of you. You see a person that you're looking at in the mirror that doesn't look like Gingham. You see hazy figures that you travel with and have adventures with, and they try to latch onto your mind, but they all seem to slip away, and it's very disorienting. As that slows down, you find yourself popping it out on the chair, just kind of limp once you come back to full consciousness, you juggle 2 lives. Just like the juggler of this card. Which life you will choose will pave a road in front of you. A road of peril and despair, or a road of happiness and salvation for others. Your fate is strong. Your fate is tied. Say it back.
My fate is strong. My fate died.
And as you say that, you feel a power surge in your chest. Like the most overwhelming magic that you have felt since you started this adventure. And you feel just a wealth more of knowledge that you didn't have before, just flooding your mind. You are going to, for free, get the Bard dedication. You now have the Bard as a free archetype, which means you get to backdate 5 Bard feats from the Bard dedication.
5 Bard feats.
Oh my.
That is all that I have for you now. Be careful as you leave and send in the...
Thank you, I think.
She doesn't say anything. She just stares.
Gingham hops down and walks out in the casual Gingham style and looks up at Krunk. She's ready for you.
Did it hurt?
No, but also, yeah.
What? Fine, I got this. I got this. Ugh. And he's gonna walk in, hyping himself up.
Gingham does like a little jump, like tries to fist bump Krunk as he walks
He's like
by.
so distracted, his hands keep coming down faster and faster. He probably just accidentally knocks Gingham right into the dirt.
That's absolutely what I was thinking.
And just as Krunk is stepping in and the curtain closes behind him, Jack, that's when you step through the portal, right next to Gingham.
Oh,
He
hi,
looks
Jack.
confused. Oh. Okay, we're just... fortune teller? And Jack
Aye.
trails off as he sees the large green eye above the tent.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine. It doesn't hurt, and then you'll find out once Krunk's.
Excellent. Krunk, you step in, same thing, eerie silence. It's like the carnival is gone around you. And the elf woman is sitting at the table and gestures to the chair.
Does it look like I can fit in this chair? Like, is it a big chair?
No, it looks quite small.
Okay, I don't want to break it, so I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to set it down off to the side. And then I'm going to just kind of sit on the ground in front of her.
I love it. Which cards have you obtained?
Oh, I've got a few here. Let's see. I've got the trumpet, the paladin, the theater, the brass dwarf, and the mountain man.
Lay them out.
Of course.
And as you
And
lay
I'll
them
lay them
out
out in the order that I received them.
Excellent. They shuffle themselves around and slide around the table as you set them down, and the crystal ball starts to mist. You feel at peace inside. You feel calm, collected, maybe like you just got like the best night's rest of your life. All of your soreness and aches and pains melt away, and the card that floats up in front of you is the Paladin. Your fate is most strongly tied to this card, the champion of the people. Many lives have been altered, much joy has been kept, families have been put back together, actions. Champion of a powerful god. And you start to see images flash through your mind. It's not as disorienting as I explained Gingham's. Yours is more of like just memories rushing through very fast. You see all of your past adventures before Jack and Gingham, of helping people and where you made a name for yourself. You see your current adventures, and you even see some of the adventures that you've currently accomplished, like with the Tengus, and you see images of those Tengus back together with their families and kids, all grateful that they've... As those images slow down and you come to full consciousness, there's a little butterfly sitting on your nose. And as it flutters away, you feel a surge of power rush through you. And you are going to gain the champion dedication for free and backdate with 5 feats.
I'm about to be so much more broken.
Yes.
And to clarify, these free archetypes mean that every time you level, you will also get, every time you would get a class feat, you will get a free feat with your free dedication.
Absolutely incredible.
Though your fate varies, it is strongly guided by your deity. The mother of butterflies watches over you on your path. You may stick to it. It may be challenging, or you may veer and be selfish. Remember, although your fate is tied, that does not mean that it is a straight path. Your fate is strong, your fate is tied. Say it back.
Say that again?
Your fate is strong, your fate is tied.
Your fate is strong. Your
No,
fate.
yours.
My fate? My fate is strong. My fate is tied.
That power surges again. And you feel like those words have power to them. That is all. Send in the next.
As you wish. He's gonna walk out, confused, disoriented, and happy. Oh, Jack, I think it's your turn.
Okay. And it was fine. She didn't like turn into a monstrous hag or anything. She didn't mess with any blood oaths. Okay.
No, nothing hag related. She just says things about that.
No, let him find out.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
All right. I mean, you can understand emotions to the giant green eye, but I'm a little hesitant. Okay.
100. I would never send you into a situation that would make you uncomfortable, Jack.
All right. Similar to Krunk, Jack also kind of like pumps himself up. It does not look nearly as aggressive, but more like taking deep breaths and kind of like feet, and then he'll walk in.
Excellent. You step in, silence as the carnival disappears and the curtain closes behind you. And you see this elf woman sitting at the table. She gestures to the chair, which is now set back up after Krunk had moved it aside.
Hello. What do we do now?
What you obtained?
Let's see. Jack will shuffle them out of his bandolier, and he takes out the rabbit prince, the silent hag, the big sky, the lyre, the snake bite, and I just grabbed the rakshasa because no one had grabbed it yet, and it was in the stash. But if someone wants it later, they can have it.
Excellent. Lay them on the table.
He does so.
Okay. However you arrange them, they start to slide and they start to shuffle. And it ends up with the silent hag on the left side.
Damn it, I
all
knew
in
it.
a line. She sits there and stares at the cards for a moment. The crystal ball does not swirl. She just watches the cards as they've arranged themselves, and she tilts her head to the side. You can't see her eyes, but you sense that she looks a little bit confused. Then suddenly, the silent hag flips itself face down on top of the card next to it, and then flips itself again, leaving the card that it was on before on fire. The flames turn green, and it flips again and again, and ignites all of the cards. And then you see a glow radiate from the tent, a green glow that you realize is coming from your eye. The tent was a little bit dark before, and you can feel everything lights up again as your dark vision comes back to you. And you can see that your veins are pulsing with this black energy, and there's just pain that starts to rack your body. You black out in a rush of memories, your childhood. You remember memories you didn't remember before from when you were a baby and a toddler, of your mother. You can see her in her human form that she used to guise herself as, and her green hag form. You remember as a baby now vividly, a clawed finger carving some kind of wound into your forehead and doing some sort of awful rituals. And then everything starts flooding back, memories of trying to follow the call to kill your mother, the moment when you attacked her and when you ended her life, the moment when you saw her through the crystal. And then you snap back into consciousness, and it is not the elf woman in front of you, but it is your mother in her hag form sitting in the chair, grinning at you with a wicked smile. Oh, my dear boy. You thought you could be so easily rid of me.
Jack wants to scream, but I think he's petrified. He is wordlessly kind of like... he slowly is like shakily reaches for anything like his dagger or his rapier.
When you go to reach for it, you realize you are actually paralyzed. You can't seem to move. She stands up and she slowly walks up to you. She walks behind you and you can't turn your head to follow her. You feel her breath on the back of your neck. Death was only the beginning for me. Death will be the only kindness for you. And you feel just a surge of dread in your chest. And with that dread comes a very strange power. You remember all of those rituals, and with every ritual, you remember a feeling of power that used to enter your body that you didn't quite understand when you were young and kind of left your memories as you grew older, but it feels like that latent power awakens. You're going to get a free archetype for witch, and you will also backdate any feats that you would like. And after that surge of power, your mother is gone. The tent looks normal. The cards are laid out in front of you, and it's the elf woman sitting in front of you, and she's frowning now, looking rather concerned.
Am I free to move?
Yeah, you can move, and you get back.
Jack, jumps backward. The chair topples over. He is in a cold sweat, and he looks at the women. What did you do to me? What is this?
Too.
Well, of course I felt it. How could I not? He goes to reach for his eye. Is his vision?
It is glowing green again.
What did you do? What is this?
Your very existence depends on repeating back what I say to you. Say it back word for word. My fate is wicked. My fate is untied.
What?
Say it.
What does that mean?
Say it.
My fate is wicked. My fate is untied.
You have a hard road ahead. You will be fighting for your existence. All I can do is wish you luck. And then you blink and she's gone and you're in that tent alone and the carnival sounds erupt around you again as if that cloth is no longer stopping the sound.
Are all my cards still on the table? Jack takes a minute for himself. He just sits on the ground in the tent and then slowly picks up each card one by one. The silent hag last. He reluctantly tucks it into his bandolier and walks out of the tent, and he looks haggard. He looks like he's seen a ghost. Literally. He's pale, he's sweating, he's in a cold sweat.
See, I told you it wouldn't be so bad.
Hey, didn't it feel...
Krunk, you notice, Jack, as he exits. Gingham, your attention is a little bit diverted because you've noticed off in the distance, you see Shadow is approaching all of you. Shadow does not have his normal happy-go-lucky look that he has. He looks shook, just jaw dropped, staring at all of you off in the distance.
Gingham will go that way, I assume, while Krunk goes toward Jack.
As you take a step forward, tears start streaming down Shadow's face. And he goes running towards you. Ginny, you're my Ginny.
Who?
You. And he goes running up and he hugs Gingham. And as he hugs you, Gingham, you completely black out. You feel those same memories that you felt in the tent rushing through your mind, but some of the blurred figures that were in the memories start to come clear. You see Shadow, and you can see yourself as a young child picking little lily flowers, and your dad picking them with you. You remember shooting a bow with him. You remember him trying to teach you to play the lute, and then you just black out. Krunk and Jack, you just see Gingham just collapse, Poppet style. Oh no, I didn't.
Normal.
She okay?
Yeah, that happens all the time. She's pretending.
I don't know how I know, but this is my little girl.
Hannah, what?
This is my little girl, Ginny, and you. And he points at Jack, and he holds Gingham and just lifts Gingham up as he walks over. You, Jack, you grew up with your dad?
Yeah.
I know who your dad is, and I know who your mom is. This isn't just my little girl. This is your sister. You two share the same foul mother. I'm still trying to piece it all back together, but we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you could say that.
And he gets cut off by a very violent tremor on the ground.
Can't take anymore.
As it tremors, the bright sun over Harrowcourt immediately goes dark. It's like the day-night cycle just drastically shifts, and the moon goes overhead, and some of the simulacrum at the carnival start to kind of look around, concerned, what's going on? There's another little quake, and you can see the town guard paladins starting to run towards the town in a bit of a panic, grouping together.
Do we hear trumpets?
You do hear trumpets. And after those trumpets, you hear a very loud howl on the horizon.
Jack, stay with your sister. I'm gonna go find out what that is. I'm gonna start towards the sound.
Shadow, stay with Gingham.
Gingham, you wake up. Those memories have kind of slipped away. Shadow is holding you.
What Am I being held again?
There's a lot going on and a lot to explain, but right now I think Harcourt is under attack and we don't know what's happening. So come on.
Shadow looks at you with this very loving look as he sets you down. It's not. I got some things to explain, but you go help them.
Come on. Jack will grab Gingham.
Yeah, Gingham will do like a little leap up so that Jack like catches them.
Yeah, and he'll hustle off after Krunk. He'll shout back to Shadow, I don't know what's happening, but do what you can. You got a bow?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
You running after Krunk?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys go running towards the town of Harrowheart. The moon overhead, trumpets blasting, and what sounds like a battle erupting now in the city. We're going to go ahead and call that a season. We'll pick up in book 2 at some point. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what we do and you want to see more, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a thing. Or if podcasts are more your thing, find the audio version of this show on the Level 1 Geek podcast on your favorite listening platform. If you'd like to show your support, you can find links to our website, Discord, and Patreon in the description below. Now go take a long rest, drink plenty of water, and we'll catch you next time.